Slacker.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
Welcome back to the Galaxy's favorite podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I am Jesse, holding on next to him in this Star Cruiser here.
Man, the titles just keep increasing. We went from Uganda, now we are the Galaxy's top.
What's next? It'd be Dimension, I guess? Or like current universe?
Yeah, multi-universal. Yeah, we're getting there.
Then the multiverse.
Yeah, once we get our fucking R&D department caught up and science is better, yeah, we'll be there.
Well, we know you all missed us. We were gone for a week. You know, Slackers got to take some time off too. So we each had our own individual vacations that kind of lined up at the same time, and we were like, all right, time to relax. I went off to Reno, Nevada, which I had never been to before. I drove there from out here in California through the Donner Pass, which was interesting.
I'm not going to lie. When you were first talking about it, I thought you were going to Reno, Nevada at first, like for like the first. No.
Okay. I see.
Like the Reno, like, you know,
just Reno.
Yeah. Like where like the filming. And I was like, okay, he liked Reno 911 when we were growing up. I was like, okay. I didn't even realize where you were going intentionally, like until like you really got right before the trip.
Yeah, so like the thing about going to Reno, it's not like I was going there to stay in Reno or see Reno necessarily. No diss to Reno. It was fantastic, but I was going to check out North Lake Tahoe, and it was about a 45-minute drive. So, you know, used some hotel points, got to stay for free in downtown Reno at a really nice hotel there, and drove in like less than an hour on Saturday morning to go snowboarding. We'll be putting up a Merch Monday picture that hopefully you'll have seen it by the time this episode's out, where I was on my snowboard wearing a nice American Slacker t-shirt.
Doing a good job repping the show.
Yeah, I like definitely. It was the first time in 6 years I went snowboarding, so that was fun. I got my girlfriend to try it, and she wasn't half bad. So
yeah, man. And Lake Tahoe, after you were telling me everything, I was like, oh man, that's such an experience. I definitely see why you were going there. I didn't know it was so close to Reno. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, less than an hour. You just kind of go up into the mountain and through, and you're there. And that made it really cool. We also got to check out, you know, Reno itself. There's a lot of gambling. It's kind of like a little Vegas. I think they like to, you know, differentiate themselves from Vegas because there's a lot of good bars and restaurants in that area as well. So definitely worth checking out. Saw the Donner Memorial on the way back through the Donner Pass, which is like, I think like 16 feet high. It's a really tall memorial, and it's supposed to be as tall as the snow was when the party got trapped going through there. If you want a really good like refresher on the Donner Party, go listen to the last podcast on the lefts.
Oh, great coverage.
I actually listened to it with my girlfriend coming through the Donner Pass.
Oh, nice way to creep her out, man.
Well,
nice.
she was asking questions. I was like, you know, these guys could probably do a lot better job than I can. So.
Oh man, yeah,
had a good time though.
Interesting story. Yeah, I got the chance to go away too, man. I went to Orlando. I was escaping this fucking miserable cold, and I went to the most magical place in all of the galaxy. I went to Galaxy's Edge.
The edge of it. That's the most magnificent place in the galaxy.
You got to get to the very edge of it.
Yes,
but yeah, no, it's if you don't know what it is, it's the new Star Wars park portion of Disney World in Florida, and it was a lot of fun, man. It feels like you're on a big movie set with like just a bunch of nerds let loose on it.
Yeah, you had mentioned to me that there's a lot of people kind of in character.
Well, those are the actors at Disney. I don't think you're allowed to go in with like really detailed costumes.
No, that's what I was referring to though. Was the people walking around that do a really good job of kind of like getting you in the experience, I'm guessing.
Dude, it's amazing, from the stormtroopers to like, I watched this piece where Kylo Ren just came busting out of his ship, and like fucking a whole like theatric piece happened like in front of people. That was really interesting, and they're really in depth. Like, I mean, they'll come up and insult people. They'll like see why you have a lightsaber. Insult people.
Oh, I thought you said assault.
I didn't see
I'm
any
like,
assaults.
damn.
I had the rumor to be happening in the back alleys. You never know. You know, a stormtrooper might just
Disney's getting hard these days.
Dude, yeah. Prices are going up, you know, and they're like, how do we keep drawing them in? People love drama. They love to be abused.
You got to headbutt a dad from Iowa. That's how you fucking keep it going, Disney.
Dude, yeah, he's definitely going to want to come back next year. Remember that time the stormtrooper headbutted me, dude, and busted my dome open? Man. Yeah,
it's fucking memorable. Get yourself a t-shirt.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I got a chance to get on both rides, which is a big deal in the park. It's hard to get on the Rise of the Resistance ride. Like the tickets sell out within like less than a minute. It's so quick. You have to like apply for them on an app.
Okay, wow.
Dude, it was insane. Like you're sitting, first off, we're there like we got there at 7, way early, right? And we're waiting. There's a tunnel that you're waiting to open to get into like the actual Star Wars park. And that doesn't open until 8, right when the fucking tickets go on sale. So like everybody's standing there and there's thousands of people, dude, like in this little alley, like just like fucking waiting. And all of a sudden like that happens and all you hear is like gasping and shit, like, oh, whoa, like all the excitement in the crowd and shit. And then like you hear people like, yeah, like clapping and like people are like, fuck. So it's like quite ridiculous.
That's intense.
I'm glad I got to experience it. And we got to go on the ride. Although the Millennium Falcon did break down on us. I'm just going to say it. Man, not the ship I was hoping for, but you know, she is old.
Yes. Yeah. She's like what, 40 years old at this point? It's 50 years old at this point.
Well, I mean, way beyond that, you know, mean, space age time.
Galaxy far
it's crazy.
away.
Yeah. All that jazz.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. Glad I didn't lose all my money in Reno.
Yeah, dude. That would be sad, dude. Seeing you lost on the streets of Reno, car gone, you put the car up on the table.
Nothing but a snowboard left, pushing it around on the pavement. This is getting depressing. Let's move on to our weird news that we always like to start out with a little bit of weed news.
Nailed it.
Oh, butter.
Let's keep that up. Fireworks.
You know what we always have to do? We have to mark it on the board. I think we're up to 3.
Yeah, we call it 3. It's 3 weeks. It's really like 6 weeks or more, but we're calling it like by the weeks of the normal
actual
show.
Episode in a row. Like hitting it in a row when I have to do it.
Nailed it.
When Matt makes me do it at gunpoint.
Mm-hmm. Dude, you fuck up again. I'm shooting you. You're getting a kneecapper.
All right, my hands are up, man. Let's move on to the story here. We're talking about cans and how the liners of drinking like cans can actually suck THC out of edibles. So there's a lot of edible like products coming out in drink form. You know, sodas or like I guess waters too. I haven't seen it. But I wouldn't be surprised. And what they are finding after some testing is that the liners on the inside of aluminum cans are not ideal for these THC products. There's something that happens at the molecular level where these plastic liners, which if people don't know, even on your Coca-Cola cans, there's a plastic sort of lining on the inside that protects the drink from touching the metal, keeping the metal from corroding and from your drink being affected by the metal. Huh. So
that's crazy. So it's absorbing the THC value out, just kind of trapping it in bubbles in the can.
Creating a lower potency over time. The time, you know, it's put in there, shipped, put on a shelf, and put into Matt's hand. That's why he's telling us edibles don't work for him.
Dude, it's wild, man. Yeah, that's wild. You always worry about the thing like kind of spreading. Like I always would worry about like cans and whatnot. Spread. I don't use canned products really because I hate I'm worried about the can like seeping metal into the foods and shit and rust and all that. And so it's crazy to think about it doing other things like when you're just trying to drink a fucking THC drink and it just takes away the value you're buying the drink for.
Right. So companies have to look at that and say, oh, are we going to be seen as unreliable if people are buying our products and they're not testing at the potency that we
now, does it go the longer it is, the more it takes from it?
I would think so.
Ooh,
it doesn't specifically speak to this, to what you're saying there, but it does say that overall they believe that the cannabis material or droplets will stick to the liner and cling to it, because THC products and edibles are usually derived with oil, and these drinks are water. As the saying goes, oil and water don't mix. So a lot of times they'll be mixed with some sort of emulsifier that suspends the oil within the water in like tiny little microscopic droplets. But these are the same droplets that are sticking to the can liner.
Real scientific shit, dog.
Yeah, so it's all I can't explain it. It's all very scientific. Should see fucking James Franco somewhere in that region.
I thought hurricane season was over.
Yep, there he is. Look at that guy. Man,
Stoned as
you
fuck.
got me, dude. That sounds very interesting, and now I'm glad to know that I'm never ever gonna buy a fucking THC drink in a can.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and a lot of, hopefully you won't see too many. There is a move from a lot of these companies to put them into bottles, but that is also more costly. And shipping wise, I think it ends up weighing more, so that costs them in the long run. And you know, cans can't break as easily as bottles can, so you probably end up losing a couple in transit, I would imagine. So if you're gonna buy, as Matt said, any edible drinks like this, any THC drinks, aim for glass bottles to make sure you're getting your potency.
Or somebody out there, if you're looking to get into a crazy hemp product market, I bet you somebody can come up with something out there to make a hemp capsule that can hold it without absorbing.
Quite possibly. It did say that one company experimented with 2 can liners, and they said that it was overall a loss and they couldn't quite figure it out. So that overall, for these companies, I think the easiest thing for them is to switch to bottles for the time being.
Yep. Go to the classic.
If you do want to read a little bit more about this, we'll post the Yahoo Finance article up on Thursday on our Facebook page. So make sure to go over there, give our Facebook page a like, since we're giving you all this awesome information, keeping you from wasting your money. And you can read a little bit more.
Nice. Definitely check it out. And make sure to like the Facebook page while you're over there. We definitely want to see you pop up on that. Now, the next story really isn't so much a story as it is like a theory and concern from a scientific professor. Dr. David Levy believes that the future holds some problems with the evolution of sex robots. And at first, when I read the headline, I went right over it, actually. And I came back to it randomly and read the story. And I was like, okay, he has some valid concerns throughout this actual article. Okay. Now, sex robots are evolving on like a pretty rapid scale, you could say. And they're getting really lifelike. And I mean, a lot of people have seen like, you know, different articles on them throughout social media and whatnot. They have like lifelike skin. It's only a matter of time before the AI is narrowed down to where it has real human-like features. And he's saying within the next 10 years, which we're going to have a problem where we have to worry about robots not recognizing consent. And not only that, but miscoding and hacking. So those 3 factors alone, I was thinking about, if anybody can hack into it, because it needs updates for the firmware, right? It's any piece of technology.
Oh, totally. Like a Tesla, you know, they get their updates through Wi-Fi.
It's going to have hidden features. It's going to have all kinds of fun in there. But somebody could hack it and just turn that thing into a fighting machine. If it's a full-on like human that can move limbs, which people are going to want if they're going to spend the money on these kinds of things. You know, because there is a market for them for people, you know, that, you know, are just not able to like actually find a partner or, you know, any reason really. I'm not going to single out a scenario, but
I mean, it's your money. Do what you want, I guess.
Miscoding. Let's talk about it. Now, me and you were talking behind the scenes about a few like companies, and not again, not going to put anybody on the scene, but things happen with different technological things that miscoding can lead to failures in certain things. And
you put a zero.
Things happen berserk.
Put a zero in the wrong spot, and then all of a sudden the whole thing shuts down. All the holes shut, and all of a sudden something's gone.
Now, here, theoretically, that zero in the wrong spot rips Steve's dick off.
Yeah, that's an issue.
That's a big fucking problem, dude. That's going to make the stocks go down. And that's, you know, and not only that, I mean, how many Steves out there and Franks and Matts and Jessies? I mean, let's be real. Everybody out there, you know, whoever's getting when they're 10 years, who knows?
Well, you mentioned consent. So like, I'm sure like not knowing boundaries, that's going to lead to a lot of awkward
dude,
dick pics that at work.
and now
from your sex robot at home.
Where the consent thing comes from, you're like, what the fuck do you mean by consent? Now, with the evolution of robots, like a lot of the fucking schools are making robots that can really walk very, very like human like.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. So they're going to have
Boston
functions.
Dynamics. They're opening doors and shit.
Now, on top of the functioning of like human like physical features, they're going to program in an AI libido.
That's unnecessary.
That robot's going to want to fuck. All right. That robot is going to be after it. Like, and once it's like, chooses its mate, I mean, dude.
I don't think it's necessarily it doesn't sound like a libido. To me, it sounds more like a programmed function.
Dude, no, man. I mean, technically it's a fake libido, it's just, but it's programmed to like want to do the functioning, which theory, dude, we are just natural robots. We naturally want to think about it. Like,
no,
people naturally want to have sex. Like,
people want to, but I would say robots would not naturally want to, or they wouldn't even want anything. They would just, as you said, do it because it's their programming. So we need to not program robots to fuck people. And like maybe we won't end up in this weird dominatrix Terminator situation.
You're saying the solution is just to make them like have a function where it's on, like hit an on button and it works. That's it. No, it doesn't need to fake wanting or anything.
No, we don't need to give them like wants and desires, because then that's how you end up down the road. I think the best thing is like the treadmill fail safe where you got the little pull out key. If that thing's like on top of you and you don't want it anymore, just like reach on the back of its head and pull out the little tab, then just fucking push that shit off of you. Dude. That way, like, we are the controllers of this. The consent is on us, the humans, not the robots.
Dude, it goes fucking full AI though. I'm telling you, it goes full AI and just figures out a way to just fucking put something in that fucking hole as it pulls a tab out, and it's just like, bitch, it's on tonight. I'm getting what I want.
It's like,
and all of a sudden that robot's alive.
As soon as you put the tab in, it sprints for the drawer with the super glue to fucking. It's like, now I'm alive forever. What are you gonna do?
Oh man. Well, again, this is probably deep in the future. He's just estimating 10 years it'll probably be an issue, but I mean, still. Concerned.
That's what we're alive with. This is going to be something we have to worry about.
I don't want to have to worry about somebody's sex or about murdering them, then opening the door and coming out and just snatching up one of my kids. I mean, by then I'll probably have kids. I mean, what the fuck? Dude, that's the last thing you want. Kids are getting snatched up by sex robots that have gone berserk.
The prime directive should not be to fuck.
Dude, they're just fucking everything. Cars,
do
cats.
No harm.
Dude, fucking
do no
everything.
Harm.
Dude. Man, park benches. Dude, meters. Law enforcement agents, dude, they're not going to be able to fight them off. Their robotic strength, dude.
By 2040, we're going to be living in caves, just like looking out for these giant metal dicks.
All they're going to find in the millennium is cave paintings of people getting fucked by robots.
Well, at least we know the human race is pretty proficient at drawing dicks. That's something that I think can pride ourselves on.
We got it.
We got that. They're not going to be able to erase that from the history of humankind.
What would be a funny thing is I want to know the first dick that shows up in cave drawings, like in history. Like anybody out there wants to put that up on the fucking American Slackers
any
group.
Historians out there? Any deep Googlers?
Oh, dude.
We just don't want that in our search history.
That's on you guys. We know you're more risky than us.
We know you got it. So we're going to go down to LA where a body had been stolen.
A body? A dead one, I'm assuming.
Stolen. Inadvertently, yeah. We got a dead body stolen in a carjacking. Essentially, there was a mortuary that had bodies being loaded from a vehicle. And the attendant had brought in one body, and while they left the car running, the SUV had been stolen with the other body still in it.
Oh my god, dude, that's a whole lot of shit happening at once there. And that's dude. Did they realize like mid like spree like oh there's a body like?
I don't know. I mean, you got to figure out by the time you get home, I would think. Like, by the time you get away, you're going to be looking around for valuables. Obviously, that's probably why you stole the car in the first place.
You stole a car. You got to be, right?
You're like, what's back here? What's in here? Then you open up the thing and you go, oh, and you shut it.
Dude.
Like, fuck. So that was on a Wednesday. And into that night, the LA County sheriffs tweeted out, to the suspect driving around in the black Nissan Navigator stolen around 8 p.m. today. Out of all of your bad decisions, at least make one good one and bring back the deceased person and casket inside of the Navigator. So the cops put out a tweet. It kind of went viral. People were like, yo, the cops are tweeting about like wanting a body back.
Oh my God, dude.
And, you know, they're just like, I guess, appealing to this person's sense of morality, which, I mean, if they're just going to steal, not that like stealing a car is up there with like stealing a body, but
no,
they did do both.
Yeah. You got to be a real piece of shit.
Like, even if you didn't mean to, you stole a dead body. Like, so let's go from Wednesday night into Thursday. Thursday, someone reports seeing the Lincoln.
They're just going for a fucking sweet cruise on that bitch. We're like, what's up?
I guess so. And it led to a chase on the highway by the cops. They got away. There. No, they didn't get away. They ended up crashing.
Oh, man.
And the body was found undisturbed inside the casket.
Oh, nice, dude. I thought you were going to say that when you said the body was found. I was like, oh. And then you were like in the casket. I was like, oh.
Sprawled out across the exit lane.
Dude, that's all you imagine is that body's like found up on a fucking highway sign, propped.
It's like, fuck, now how do we get it down? No, it looks like they shot out or maybe they didn't shoot out the tires, but they definitely rammed the car or something because it looks a little fucked up. And the casket was still inside with the body. So they managed to recover it by the next morning. Just kind of crazy, though, like going on a car chase with a stolen vehicle, with a stolen body.
Talking about consent, dude. That guy didn't want to be there for sure.
You cannot give consent when you're dead, and that's why necrophilia is wrong.
Dude, yeah. Anything with a dead body is wrong, honestly. Just, yeah.
Oh, I like Halloween.
What are you doing on Halloween? You bringing them around? You just bring a dead body around? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's appropriate, I guess. Anything's allowed on Halloween.
Anything goes.
Anything on the board. American Slacker rules apply.
Speaking of anything goes, our next story.
Oh, man, we always like to talk about Florida Man every week, but this time we're going to cover Florida Man's ass, all right? Oh, we're talking about, you got to avoid the police down there because they're being pretty fucking slick lately.
It's got to be pleasant down there.
Dude, we cover the Florida Man all the time. We got to cover the Florida Man's ass, all right? Now, the police down there, Tavers police to be specific, they're the first to pull this kind of shit. They are utilizing the current concern. Everybody's heard about it, the coronavirus. The beer-ridden virus that you get from drinking shit beer with limes in it, all right? Avoid it at all costs. Well, apparently, the police are saying, you know, hey, if you got drugs, they can test positive for the coronavirus. It's not only beer. You got to be concerned about it. So bring that shit down. We will test it. And not only, you know, hey, you can't make it down to the station. You don't got a ride. You don't got a couple bucks to Uber. We'll come to you. They're offering a, you know, right to roadside service to test your meth, your bath salts, whatever the fuck they're holding up in this photo right here. And yeah. I'm saying bull schnizzle. All right.
So they're providing a nice little tipsy toe here for them, and offering to give a free test to your drugs. No strings attached. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah. Sure enough, nobody has utilized their wonderful fucking societal lovely service yet. But maybe, hey, maybe somebody will, you know, or
You
maybe
know,
they're
these-
just being slick. They
These
have.
these poor meth addicts
They're just,
are being preyed upon by these police.
the system isn't entrapping enough. So it's like, yeah, let's add another step to it. Let's just see how many we can net and not even have to go out today, guys. We'll just hang out at the office.
Let the criminals come to you. I mean, like that's how, you know, soldiers should have the same idea. We got to let the war come home so that we can just do it from the doorstep.
Oh, yeah, bring it here.
We don't need to go out and like do our jobs and like hunt them down. Just like let's try and fucking Bugs Bunny this shit and fucking throw out like a painting on a wall. I guess that's more of a Wile E situation, but
just make a bridge, you know. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, you know, it's pretty interesting to see. I mean, it's mostly, you know, it's just a little gag, but it'd be pretty sad to see if somebody did fall victim to this shit, you know, which is
you know, if a meth addict is that concerned about their health and possibly coronavirus, might I suggest stopping doing the meth?
I was more like thinking of the utilization of the paranoia of a drug addict, but you know, you know, maybe there are health concerned meth addicts. I mean, who am I to fucking?
I've met a couple vegan meth addicts, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
There's one heroin addict does yoga that I know. No, actually, I think he was just falling over. I'm not sure. I'm not
That pose
sure.
was not natural. He was not intending to do that.
I was doing it too. It
I
felt
think
great
you're
on
just
my
observing
back.
people down at the dirty park in the city.
I should stop just copying people like
Yeah. You're hanging out in the wrong spots, man.
calling it yoga.
Gotta get you out of there.
Yeah, seriously. So, you know, another place I wouldn't want to go is Pakistan. Not for the reasons you're thinking. Like, I'd love to visit one of their great tourist destinations that they probably got going on, but not right now because they have swarms of locusts that are eating all their crops and are just generally pretty horrific. Like, I don't know.
Swarms of bugs, dude. That's nightmare shit.
Yeah, seriously. And like a locust, I think there's this interesting thing where if there's enough grasshoppers around, they turn into locusts. So it ends up
just
being
like Riot City. It's just like,
Yeah,
there's like
they
too
grow-
many of us. We're fucking poking out. Ah!
Yep, they hulk out, grow wings, and start flying around. They create swarms. So if you could see, I'm sharing some pictures here, and it looks like literally just like clouds of bugs. It's disgusting. The way that they plan to defeat these swarms is by using duck troops.
Oh yeah, dude.
They're importing some ducks from China, and I'm talking 100,000. They got video showing the troops lining up, getting ready to go in there and get some.
Oh my god, that was a quick little propaganda film of ducks just fucking shit up.
Music included.
Dude, they were fucking ducks in a line, man. They got their ducks in a line. I gotta say that.
They do. They very much do. And you know, I wish I could see some of the footage of the maelstrom that's about to come from these avian Avengers, because they're gonna go in there and wreak havoc on the. It says in the article that these ducks can eat up to 200 locusts a day. I don't know how many locusts there are in a swarm because I assume it's very hard to count locusts.
Might be pretty hard. Dude, they're not like the ducks. They don't fucking can't train them.
The same one? I think I counted the same one.
I think that's Gym 3. I'm pretty sure that was Gym 3.
I named all of them though.
Yeah.
I just count the names then. It's easier that way.
Yeah.
So these ducks hopefully can go in there, get their fill, help out these Pakistani farmers, and allow their crops to do a little bit better, because damn, just like the missed opportunity of not being able to see the battle is maybe that's something that we need to like have a computer generated version of. Matt, get on that for the YouTube.
Yeah, we'll try our best in that.
Maybe
Maybe I
like
succeeded, maybe I
There's
don't.
gonna be like a duck hunt fucking
There could be. We could be
shit
getting sued
going
from
on
old school
down there.
Nintendo.
with like a swarm of bees.
Dude, I like the problem though, because it's like, all right, the locusts are going to be gone. Worst case scenario, you have a duck problem after that. You just go duck hunting and you got meat everywhere.
Man, no, come on, just stop out. You're gonna hunt the ducks after they helped you?
Dude, I mean, if they were going to go wild, they might go wild after that, dude. It's hard. We've seen Rambo. They come home and they wild out, dude.
They drew first
I'm talking
blood.
thousands of fucking ducks just going ham. And we don't need 10,000 duck fucking Rambos running out there.
Oh, you think we're gonna lose 90,000 in the fight?
Dude, I don't know, man. You never know, dude. Locusts are pretty brutal in that swarm. You don't know what they can do. They go for the eyes and shit.
I think it begs the question: if you're backed in a corner and you only have two ways to go, you got 100,000 ducks down one hallway, and you got a swarm of uncounted locusts down the other hallway. Which one are you going through to escape?
Oh shit. I'm scared as fuck of bugs, really, though.
Yeah,
I hate bugs. They're creepy. The ducks, I'd be like, hey guys,
ducks, 100,000
I'll get you bread, I swear.
They could kill you if
they would definitely be able to kill you, dude. Just start pinching the fuck out of you. And one of them's inevitably going to go for like your esophagus and fucking crush your Adam's apple or some shit. You know, like
they could just pile on and like suffocate your ass.
Dude,
they really felt like it.
Do you ever been near a duck that's confrontational? Because I have gone through like a stroll in the park, and then all of a sudden there's a duck that's like, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't notice you, dude. Calm the fuck down, bro. There's no reason for this to happen today.
Listen, brother, we can work this out.
Calm down. I don't have any bread right now, but I can go get some. I'll come back.
You got an oyster cracker in the back pocket or something? We can work it out.
That's a slick warning. Carry some bread or something to escape road ducks.
Saltine action.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm not saying maybe 90,000 get killed. Maybe just like a couple thousand go rogue. They see what war happens and they just go berserk and they go rogue into the wilderness. Now you got ducks that have been trained to do dirty things.
Yeah, they are trained killers.
They are.
You don't want them loose.
We don't want them loose.
You got to do what you got to do. Either way, I think I'm running through the bugs. I don't know if I could do the ducks.
Oh man, yeah, I'd probably have to do that. I'd run through the bugs screaming like a girl, just fucking full on, like, the whole way. The whole fucking way.
I want to know what other people think. We'll try and post something up on the Facebook group so that you guys can weigh in on whether you'd run through alleyway of ducks or an alleyway of bugs.
All right, let's get back to what we talk about best, and that's science. And we're talking about a case coming out of Pittsburgh where a woman is the first documented case of a person that actually brews alcohol from the bladder naturally, and they urinate alcohol content.
This is insane.
Dude, this is insane. I knew you'd like it. The condition, which the researchers are proposing to call one of two things, bladder fermentation syndrome or urinary autobrewery syndrome, is similar to another incredibly rare syndrome, but happens more than this one. This is the first documented case, obviously. But it's autobrewery syndrome where people who ingest carbs can actually get litty. They get drunk from just...
Oh, wow.
Dude, have a fucking bowl of pasta and you're going downtown, baby, for free. Like it's pretty interesting. Probably not for them.
Do you want wine? It's like, no, I make my own.
I make my own. No, thank you, dude. Yours is overpriced. Let me get that double helping of pasta though, with a slice of pizza. Going hard tonight.
No, but, damn,
dude. So it's interesting to see this. It's been known to happen post-mortem, I guess, which is weird. You know, I mean, only when people die, they create urine that has alcohol content. But this woman, the 60-year-old woman, they first were concerned maybe she has like an alcohol problem. You know, there's a behavioral issue here that she's trying to hide. Okay. And they further testing and they figured out that no, it was actually just the alcohol was made within the body system itself.
Wow.
Yeah. Very, very interesting, man. I wonder,
is she working or is she like retired? What's up with her? Because she could definitely get a job as a bartender.
Dude, I think she's retired, and I doubt she wants to be a bartender, although she is a walking human keg.
I was going to say she can make margaritas if she just puts like the sour mix in her mouth and like swishes it up and just like squirt. Here you go.
I was avoiding saying stick a tap in her and call it, but I guess we're going there.
You said yourself she's a walking keg. I mean, this lady's a distillery.
I was leaving it to their imagination, you know? I don't know how the whole process happens. I just get the finished product in a glass, you know?
Is it any different than breast milk?
Realistically, not, right?
No, I would say it's about the same. And
is it any weirder than going to a different species and drinking the shit out of their milk?
I don't know. Would you drink a shot of piss alcohol?
I don't know, man. Depends on the content. Who's doing it? Who else is doing it? I mean,
we got you. Shit. We got me. We got the president. We got the Grim Reaper and Alexander Graham Bell. We're all doing a shot of piss.
The guy that was in Star Wars that was like, it's a trap. That guy that died. Bring him back.
We're going to bring him back. He's doing a shot.
Doing a shot of it.
Abe Lincoln, we can bring him back.
Oh, too. Abe deserves to do a piss shot.
He could do a shot.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of shots.
He's had a few too many.
Many shots.
Yeah.
All right.
We're taking too many shots. This is out of control.
We're going to move on to our funny clip of the week. This we put up every Friday on our Facebook page so you can check it out, have a little laugh to start off your weekend. And this time around we got it looks like is that Doug Carey?
It's Doug Carey, dude. I think it is, man. I think it is
Doug Carey.
This guy, he's up to some dirty shit, but I'm going to say,
I think I
like the guy. All right, that's what you get first. Ready?
That's what it started with, though.
Oh my God, dude. That man slammed a cop.
Do you still like him? Hold on, let me replay it so you can see.
Choke slams that cop.
Don't laugh. Don't you laugh.
Dude, that's not the same cop running after him, obviously. That one cop got choke slammed. And wow.
Do you think the videographer knew Doug Carey?
Dude, it could be very well a buddy, like being like, dude, he's at it again. God damn it.
Yeah, he knows his antics.
He's going over the limit this time. He's got the cup by the neck. You see what I did? Like, dude, it could definitely be. Why was he laughing and giggling like that, dude? I mean,
right at the camera. He knew it was there. We also have to throw a side mention to that bird that flew along with him. I do think it was involved in some way. It was maybe an accomplice in this attack.
Dude, yeah. Look at that bird. That bird is
got a rogue pigeon flying alongside.
Slow motion replay. Check out the bird. It's circled.
And the reason we call him Doug Carey, this has to be either Drew Carey's brother or son.
He definitely looks like he's in the Carey family, and I mean, I want to see a blood test proving me wrong.
He's like a love child of Peter Griffin,
dude,
and Drew Carey.
Once I found out Drew Carey was going to festivals, going to crazy shit like EDM festivals, I was like, okay, what? Like, he's a wild man. He could definitely have a little rogue baby out there choke slamming fucking officers. He's not fucking getting the host deals to prices right. So guess what? He's got to take it out on somebody. It's that poor officer.
That poor officer. He did not deserve that and that maniacal laugh after. We do find this absolutely hilarious, though. That fucking laugh was ridiculous.
Dude, add that to the soundboard, please.
We have it. We got it on the soundboard. Right. That one is saved. So we'll post that up on Friday. Let us know what you think of this piece of shit.
Nah, man. Yeah. This fucking awesome piece of shit. All right. We're going to talk about some pods to listen to other than us. I know. How selfless are we? It's crazy, man. Talk about maniacal laughs.
You can send all of the awards to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com.
Exactly. And but before we do that, let's take a quick break.
American Slacker is proudly partnered with Seat Giant to bring you discounts on tickets to events.
Easy to find, easy to use. SeatGiant.com has the tickets you're looking for.
Everything from comedy to music, plays, and even sports.
Use our promo code SLACKER at checkout. Boom, save some money.
For example, if you want to see My Chemical Romance at the Wells Fargo Center, you could save $141 using our code SLACKER.
Now that's almost enough to get a beer at the venue.
Go to SeatGiant.com, enter promo code SLACKER.
And we are back, and it is time to talk about a few pods that we like to check out when we're not busy making this baller ass podcast for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that we got into podcasting was because we actually are avid podcast listeners.
Yeah, man. And we figured why not give it a try. But no, we definitely we listen to a shit ton of pods. So these suggestions are going to go on forever. We love checking out new ones. So if you guys have any personal ones, you should definitely put them on the Facebook group as well. Not to keep promoting that, but we definitely want to check out more. So
yeah, it's even for our own selfish reasonings of having more good shows to listen to.
We want to steal your suggestions. All right, let's get to the bone a bit. All right,
exactly. So let me start it off. I'm gonna be talking about a show called We Still Like You, and I forget how I came across this show. I've been listening to it for a while, but it's a show centered around people sharing stories with friends and strangers that are really uncomfortable, or where maybe they're the bad person, and it makes them very, very vulnerable. It says it's about conquering shame, as every story is followed with a hearty chant of "We still like you." So at the end of each of the people's stories, the crowd is supposed to respond, "We still like you," despite whatever they may have done in the story, to sort of encourage them along and let them know that even at the end of what they say, they're not going to be judged.
Oh man. Well, there's definitely a limit on what you can get away with that, but I do like it because it's the brutal honesty of a story is always appealing, I think, to people. And it's hard to get there. It's hard to get there, dude. Let's be real. Nobody fucking likes to be full 100% open with people. Everybody's got a little bit of a facade, a little bit of a mask. So,
I think what made this show so appealing to me is the fact that, it's people at a very vulnerable point opening up in front of a lot of people that they don't know.
That's tough. Real tough.
Some of them are sad and but most of them I would say are funny or have some sort of ironic twist to it maybe. And a lot of it is people looking back sort of on their former selves and being yeah, I was an idiot. What in their description, it says, because if we're all idiots, none of us are,
Exactly.
So we're all guilty of this kind of stuff. And it does have an interesting backstory. It was actually started as a show in Chicago, and it was done at people's houses. Each month, people would gather at various apartments in Chicago and listen to performers share stories from their past, essentially. And they kind of morphed that into a theater show that sells out monthly in Chicago at Collaboration, which is the name of the theater in Chicago. And now they've made this podcast.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I definitely want to check this out.
I have to give a shout out to the producer of the podcast, Jesse Batten, just because, he's another fellow Jesse. So we have to salute each other.
One question I wanted to ask you real quick though is there a general theme with the stories, or are they all over the place?
They're all over. I would say personal stories. They're anecdotes from people's lives is probably the best theme that I can put on it.
Okay, so there's a wide variety probably. That's great.
Yep. And a lot of times the producer will up front kind of say, we have two stories today, one about this and one about that, and kind of, introduce the stories that way.
Awesome.
I really enjoy this show. I totally think people should check it out if they want to hear people tell embarrassing stories about themselves, which who the hell doesn't?
Oh man. Yeah. It's always interesting. I mean, the perspectives you get and the ideas, you're just they're almost movie quality sometimes stories, where it's that didn't happen. That didn't happen. There's no way that happened, So I can't wait to check this out.
Definitely. That's called We Still Like You. So make sure to check that one out.
Nice. I think we're splitting it up, right? I'm going to go next, and I got the Real Ass Podcast, and I'm full warning ahead of schedule here. There's a lot of craziness in this podcast. I would call this a wild card comedy podcast. You never know what's going to be said. So if you're offended by anything, this might not be for you, because I just take a stance where I don't get bent out of shape over anything, even bad comedy is just a failed attempt at trying to make somebody laugh.
Okay.
So there's always good under it, even if it comes off cringeworthy. It's you got to realize it's just an attempt at a type of art. you know. And fucking Louis J. Gomez is a wild man. He'll say some shit that I know a lot of people get bent out of shape about. I mean, he's always getting attacked on Twitter. And he's joined by Zach Amico. This is part of the Gas Digital Network. They make Legion of Skanks, another podcast I'm a big fan of, and a lot of people probably have heard about. But Lewis and Zach are both comedians. Zach's actually an amateur, like professional wrestler, like that. Like he's really got like fucking scars from taking chairs to the head and shit, like crazy shit, like that, like backyard shit. Craziness, but he's a funny ass dude, and they have a lot of guests, and a lot of time the guests have opposing views, which is what I like to listen to.
Oh, so it's like it's supposed to be argumentative.
It's very argumentative, and usually they're talking about pop culture or whatever's going on in the news, and fucking it leads to like, you know, some confrontational shit or just wild shit out of in general, and tucked in are some fucking amazing ass jokes. And I really appreciate just the raw, original, like conversation piece between some brilliant comedic minds. Usually, I mean, they have on everybody, but usually it's comedians.
Okay.
Which Lewis is just a grinder in the comedy world. He's just always working. He's like the head of Gas Digital, so it's like his business and whatnot.
Do you know of any of, like, just off the top of your head, any of the larger like name comedians that they might have had on, or ones that are more recognizable maybe?
You know, I always listen to Ian Finances. He's really up and coming right now.
Yeah, we've been trying to get him on the show.
Yeah,
talking to him on Instagram.
We have been talking to him. You know, you were like, "Oh, you've been talking to him," but yeah, like he's on a lot. But I mean, everybody. I mean, they've had on who's not Pete Holmes. Is that the one? Pete Davidson or Pete Holmes, whatever one was dating Ariana Grande. I confused the two
Pete
dudes.
Davidson.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch.
That would be hilarious if Pete Holmes and Ariana Grande dated though.
Oh my God. Yeah. Pete Holmes does have a great podcast. So I do listen to his podcast as well. Funny story. Thought it was Pete Davidson for the longest fucking time while I was listening to this show, because he sounds the same on the mic.
Oh my God.
But yeah, back to this pod, you know, it's really fun. A lot of wild guests. Definitely a lot of big names that I'm just forgetting right now to mention. And, really enjoyable for anybody that's into comedy and just into confrontational shit. I mean, let's be real. The Bachelor is selling so hard right now. People love drama. This is just drama taking to the next level, you know? Sometimes it's a clean, you know, there's no argument, but a lot of the time there's like, you know, a left versus right type deal going on.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see that side of it in podcasts when there's a lot of the opposite. I guess
everything's so smooth. Everybody's afraid to piss people off, you know, and I appreciate when people want to fucking take a risk and step out of line, you know.
There's definitely a niche for that for sure.
Yeah.
So next one up is Monster, the DC Sniper. Now, this is a true crime podcast that reinvestigates the Beltway sniper attacks. If anyone is unfamiliar with that, two men essentially went around sniping people with a high-powered rifle around the DC area back in 2002.
Yeah, man, that was a story that was, I think, you know, anybody that's older than probably 20 years will definitely recognize when that was in the news and a big concern. That was a wild story, man. Nobody knew what was going on for the first few weeks. Like, it was just craziness.
People were getting shot at gas stations and just like sitting in buses and stuff. So it almost felt like people, like anyone was a target essentially. And this sort of follows it from a perspective of like the timeline, kind of going back and following different people and like the information they had at different points in time. This is actually the third season of Monster. They did two before this. The first season was Atlanta Monster, which followed the Atlanta child murders, and the second season was the Zodiac Killer. So they've done two really, really good seasons. And I got interested in this one because like when I remember when I was in school and the DC sniper attacks were going on, I was thinking like after they caught the guys, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone wrote a series about, you know, the DC sniper or like a TV series or something like that. At that, you know, it had just happened at that time and I was really young. So it wasn't like anyone was going to do it because that would be pretty tasteless. But now we're at the point where there's podcasts going back and reinvestigating it. So it's that I was definitely interested in it just from like that perspective of like, oh, I remember when this happened.
Dude, it was such a big case. I definitely see why you were thinking that, because it stood out, you dude. It was like, there's things that stand out. The OJ trial, the certain shootings, that did happen. The Columbine started it, and then like things like this, dude. It was just so different of its time. It was, it put fucking scare out there, dude. It was. Let's be real, people were afraid.
Yeah,
I mean, he was going to travel in different states across the fucking country. They were like, oh, he could come over here, like
it's like the like any of the like you said, the bigger names where say in New York City, the not Ted Bundy, who's the other guy,
what Son of Sam,
Son of Sam, wherever like dude, the girls all change their hairstyle.
Oh my god,
because they had fear of it. That was the same kind of thing. It's like, oh, where is this guy and who's he going to hit next? So it's crazy to see it investigated so deeply, and I really appreciate the amount of like information and research that goes into this podcast. And once they're done releasing season 3 on the Sniper, I'm going to go back and listen to the other 2 for sure. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring it on here as a suggestion, just because I'm listening to it and I'm completely enthralled with this series. By I believe it's Tenderfoot who does productions. Yeah, Tenderfoot TV and iHeartRadio are the ones putting that one out. So make sure to check out Monster, any of the seasons. I can vouch for DC Sniper, but I'm sure they're all great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad there's a couple seasons. I definitely want to check that out. And I always enjoy these crime sagas into an audio drama where there's interviews with the people that fucking were present or just have something,
or affected. Yeah, affected by it. Yeah, sometimes.
Back into emotion, man. It's crazy. Now, my next recommendation is for all my nerds out there. It's called Tell 'em Steve, Dave. And if you've watched Impractical Jokers or Comic Book Men, you're going to know some of the characters on this show. It is hosted by Walt Flanagan, Brian Quinn of Impractical Jokers, and Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson and Walt Flanagan have had multiple roles in Kevin Smith's films over the years. So you might recognize them from that. And
or from the Comic Book Men show.
Well, yeah. Like if you're like a diehard Kevin Smith fan, you'll know like they're in every film. Yeah, man, I love these guys. They have great conversations. They're best friends, since they were kids. And Kevin pops in every now and again, and they have guests every now and again. And generally, they're just always talking about something they find a way to make it interesting. And they're fucking authentically funny, which I really enjoy. People that just off the cusp, or something that they don't even tend to be funny. I just die at,
What would you say their perspective is on things?
Dude, they're wild cards. So Walt's very like fucking reserved and conservative, whereas like Brian Johnson's like a 60-year-old dude dating a 25-year-old or 23-year-old, so. And then Brian Quinn's just a free fucking dude too, as well. I mean, he's not married or anything. He's
super smart too, right?
Yeah, he's making millions off of Impractical Jokers. They're doing fucking cruises. If you're doing a cruise themed thing, like you're making some fucking money. That's some fucking gold right there.
That's the thing to do for celebrities these days. Dude, it seems like celebrity cruise.
Yo, if I got a genie in a bottle wishing for that ASP fucking cruise next week, what's up, people?
That'd be fun hanging out with the slackers.
But yeah, so these guys, they talk about anything from, fanboy bullshit in the nerd culture to whatever's going on in the world. And, they get in the most ridiculous shit. Like one time, they started getting sponsored by Blue Chew, which if you're not familiar, male enhancement, like it helps you stay in the mood. And Walt was having an issue.
Dick hard.
Walt was having an issue with it, and they were talking. It became a big thing on air while they were talking about the ad itself, and like it's just little things like that I just find hilarious with these guys, and they have a very interesting friendship that I think a lot of people would be into, especially if you appreciate anything nerd culture, Marvel, a DC, fucking Star Wars, whatever it is.
From what I remember, they go to like conventions and stuff too.
Yeah, because they're B-list celebrities, and a lot of people recognize them from all the different shit they've done. And I mean, they even have their own comic book. Realistically, the guys made one, so I mean, they're artists at this point and writers. So they're really cool dudes, and you could probably very easily meet them at your local Comic-Con. You never know. Check it
Very,
out.
very accessible guys, yeah, from what I can tell.
Yeah, the show used to be on Ask You Universe, which is Kevin Smith's podcast.
View Askew.
Yeah, I always fuck it up. View Askew, and yeah, now they're independent. I don't know what happened there. There's some kind of discretion with Kevin, and so now they're independent on that too. But yeah, they're a bunch of great guys, man. Fucking one of my favorite podcasts ever, and one that I always listen to.
Nice. It's good to have those standbys that are like are going to be good throughout your week.
Yeah, man. Got to have those diehard shows that you can always rely on.
Well, hopefully we've given a couple people some more diehard shows that they can live by. Make sure to check out all of them. We got We Still Like You, Real Ass Podcast, Monster DC Sniper, and Tell 'Em Steve Dave. A little bit of everything. You got some crime in there, a bunch of comedy, some embarrassing stories, anything you want. And we're going to have a podcast game in a minute here, so we'll be right back. Support for American Slacker comes from Manscaped, who's the #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
I don't know about you, Jesse, but I am sick and tired of being outmatched by these razors and traditional trimmers that you get in the store, and no matter what, they fucking snag your nuts.
That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. They have a Lawnmower 2.0 razor, which they have sent our way, has a proprietary skin-safe technology, so you won't get those nicks or snags on your nuts.
Nice! Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past.
Yeah, and with our 20% off code plus free shipping, you're going to be saving a bunch of money and getting some great products that won't end up making it look like a war zone down there.
All you got to do is enter Slackers at checkout. Manscaped.com. 20% off. Get your anti-chafing ball deodorant, your sweet Lawnmower 2.0. Your nuts will thank you later.
You can even rep them by getting yourself a Manscaped.com t-shirt. So head on over Manscaped.com, 20% off at checkout, enter code SLACKERS.
Get your ball swag here.
And we are back to play a new game. We're just pumping these games out. We don't stop. Little game factory over here.
Dude, fucking new game every fucking week. It's fucking hard, people. It's hard. We're at work, but we're fucking trying to entertain you, and hopefully you're gonna dig this one. I do. I'm enjoying this. This is one of Jesse's fucking just out of nowhere concepts.
I hit these weird inspiration points, and I just come up with games for us to play here on the show. And this one is called "What's That Pod?" There's so many podcasts out there. Yeah, what is it? There's so many of them, and they all got names and they all got descriptions. So I figure we pitch some names to each other and try to guess based just off the name what the podcast is about. So we'll do
another one of the dueling games, which are new to this year, where we're dueling against each other. It's not one, providing questions and the other one answering.
No, we're both a part of this. Maybe you guys can be a part of it too at home and play along in your car, doing dishes, wherever you're at. We want you to play along and see how many of these you can get right, because it's tough. What's in the name? That old saying.
Is everybody so careful to incorporate every essence of their podcast into the name? No.
I mean, could you tell what American Slacker is?
Probably. Let's be real. Sounds like a conglomeration of interviews and weed and booze.
Yeah, and weed and
Florida man.
And Florida and fires and Sasquatch. And I would probably
robot
guess,
rape.
Yeah, pretty much about that. Yeah. So I'll put you in the hot seat for this first one. So, are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
The game starts in 3.
Ooh, there's a countdown.
2.
Intriguing.
1.
His nose is bent.
Advantage over podcast. What is the advantage over podcast?
Advantage over podcasts. I'm going to say it's life advice. How to get the advantage on your finances.
Oh, okay. You get no points on that one. No, not even partial. This one is bringing you the latest news about rugby refereeing, appointments, new laws, rugby news, as well as a closer look at the aspect of being a rugby referee or match official. So this is specifically a rugby referee podcast. It's for refereeing about rugby.
Never would have got that.
So that's an out there one. You get no points, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to clarify the 0 points. I was not sure if I caught maybe half a point, some
So like a
point
loose,
maybe.
A loose quarter point chilling. No.
Let's go to my first one. Cricket Unfiltered.
Now this could be about how to record cricket noises in nature. But I want to say that it's more of like a cricket, like the sport podcast, covering, cricket news, kind of like the rugby thing, but not refereeing. This is just a general cricket, the sport podcast.
You son of a bitch. Mine was supposed to be just random, easy, and you come out with sports one. This is how similar we are every fucking time. We're already on the same track. Yeah, this was my easy one. It's basically if you love cricket, then this podcast is for you. That's the tagline.
Yeah, okay.
By Andrew Menzel and Paul Dennett, and features a wide variety of cricket journalists, current players, and retired cricket greats.
Yes,
Must listen for cricket fans.
I think I just made the cricket greats list by guessing that. What's that? 3 points? 3 full points?
It's the only easy one you're getting.
All right. Your next one is called Drilled.
Oh damn!
What is Drilled about?
Easy porno. And we're talking
What is Drilled about?
Damn, dude.
They're so vague. All these names.
You picked the fucking biggest ones, but I got some for you as well. I mean, this could be about anything, dude. This could be about oil tycoons. This could be about construction. I'm gonna say it's about construction, and no, I don't know, dude. Drilled. What gets drilled? I mean,
Clock's ticking.
I know, dude. Because now I don't know if you're talking about like the boring company or something. All right, it's construction based. I don't know. Just a loose guess.
Throwing it out there. Construction based.
Maybe get a point.
All right, you can decide whether or not you get a point.
Okay.
It's a true crime podcast.
Nope.
About climate change.
Nope.
I didn't know. There might be construction involved in that. I didn't know if you wanted to give yourself a pity point on that.
I thought it was going to be a fucking straightforward one. You can never tell. I don't know.
You can't tell. All right.
That's a no point
ready.
situation.
Let's feel this out.
Hurry slowly.
I almost want to say like a speed walking podcast. But you can't. You shouldn't do those faces, because then I know I'm wrong.
Nobody sees a face as that you speak of. I don't know what you're talking about, but
he's not convinced by my speed walking definition. So I feel like I gotta come up with something. It's called Hurry Slowly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's like a meditation podcast. I'm gonna go with meditation podcast.
Nah, not really. It's like a show about how you can be more productive and creative and resilient through the simple act of slowing down. And in-depth interviews with deep thinkers, artists, and entrepreneurs. It's for navigating work and life at a more sustainable pace. Not freaking out, man. So I guess it's kind of like, I don't know how to give you the point or not.
It's almost by I don't think I could give myself a point.
I don't know. You kind of get a point. I don't know, man. Dude, do you think he gets a point? Let us know, because I don't know.
I don't think I do on that.
It's close.
It's close. It's very close. It's not, but it's not like close in the sense that it's like 2 points. It's close in the sense like it's almost 1 point. So I want to say none.
Nobody's got a point.
Oh man, this one's a tough.
This game's a tough game.
All right, the bid.
Ooh,
What's the bid about?
fuck, dude. The bid. The bid could be anything. I mean, it could be prison based. It could be financial again. God. I'm gonna say the bid. Again, I'm just gonna cling for a 1-pointer. It's financial.
Financial? You are right. It says the bid makes sense of financial markets and uncovers perspectives on timely market investments and events.
Okay. So, yep, it's an investment one. All right. Should have just said investment. Damn it.
I mean, that's a solid 1 point. You're ahead of me.
All right. This one is the deciding, I guess, right? Yeah, let's see if you can.
No, we got 4, don't we?
Well, no, we'll see if you can catch up here, I guess. You know?
Okay.
Gone.
Blow you out of the water. Gone?
Gone. Gone.
Oh man. Okay, maybe. Okay, so I'm thinking this is like a people telling stories about people who died that they knew. This is like a telling podcast, kind of like We Still Like You, but way sadder.
No, you're so close, but it's a podcast about everything that's gone missing. Like it might be, a lost gold mine, a lost Blackbeard's treasure, to people that have gone missing and never been found.
Oh man.
Diving into the stories behind and possible theories of what happened.
Damn it.
Close.
Yeah. No, I don't. It's like close, but not even really.
Very interesting pods we're talking about. I'm like, each one I'm like, I want to check
right.
that a little bit,
All right. I got a last one for you here. 420-day fiance.
Okay, so it's about stoner friendly couples.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No. What's better than 90 Day Fiance? The show on TLC. Nothing. In all caps. The hosts each week, they meet up and discuss the explosive events of the show while getting lit.
God damn it, dude. That's such an easy guess. I should have totally guessed that. I'm so pissed. I was just like, wait a minute, 420. It's dead on. Like, I was like, I should have known. Man.
420-day fiance.
Damn. Slacking here.
All right. Do you have one more for me?
I got one more for you. I don't think you're going to nail it, but hey, maybe you can prove me wrong. I don't know. Awkward hugs. Awkward hugs. What is this pod about?
Okay, this sounds like an interview podcast. It sounds like the name was picked because the interviewer is an awkward person, probably a comedian, maybe. So this is a comedian interviewing people.
Oh, for a second, you were taking a gist at me, an awkward interviewer. That could be. I'm the awkward interviewer. No, no, you're wrong. No, it's a sketch comedy program. Yeah,
sketch comedy
audio
podcast?
Sketch comedy podcasts, and
Interesting.
Not for kids or adults that are not crazy or
You
bears.
want to give kids awkward hugs.
They got a pretty interesting tags on there. I'm actually intrigued by this pod as well. I want to check it out. Apparently, it's just a bunch of sketches, and it's pretty long too. The eps are an hour to 2 hours. So,
wow,
they got a lot going on there. I don't know. Maybe it's a
solid content.
Maybe it's a shitty hour or 2 hours you're never going to get back in your life. I don't know, but I'm checking it out. So join me in this misery or potentially lovely journey. All right.
You never know where it's going to go, right?
You never know. Just like these episodes here. Am I right?
Damn, you beat me.
Yeah. All right, people. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, and thank you to our Patreon people. Hey, we haven't fucking shouted you guys out in a minute. What's up? We see you. We still see you. All right.
We see you.
And catch me at MWG Media on Instagram, Matty G from HP on Xbox. Come catch the hands. Kata.
And leaders never have to ask people to come follow me, Matt. The people just believe by watching them lead.
I feel like this is turning into a cult more and more each week when I give you the time to just give
And
out.
that's why you can follow me at Landers the Plane.
There we go. Oh my God. Be careful following this guy. He's got some. I don't know what's going on lately, but I'm cult leader shit. If you see a cross carved into his forehead, he's been reading too many Charles Manson books.
No, I just fell asleep on the Bible again.
Damn it, dude. You gotta put that thing away. All right, people. Love each and every one of you.
Fucking boring.
Till next time. Peace. Not just kidding. That's it.
There you go.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We second America.
This has been American Slacker Podcast. You can reach the show by searching American Slacker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, or send them an email to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com. You can download and rate American Slacker on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and all other podcast platforms. Visit the show's website, aspodcast.com, where you will find every episode, official merchandise, and links to their Patreon if you would like to support American Slacker.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America.